I'm gonna let you guys know a little bit about me. I'm a native New Yorker that likes to drink a lot. Yeah, so I obviously listen to Billy Joel. That's kind of how that works. If you look like this and sound like this. That's how I judge people that move to New York now. That's how I judge transplants. Like, I don't care about your Subway stories. I've had those since I was a kid. Like, tell me your favorite Billy Joel song. That's what I want to know. And if you say Piano Man, you're basic. That's what I like the song too, but everyone knows it. That's just the problem. Like, you know, give me some She's Always a Woman. Give me some Billy the Kid. Mix it up a little bit. Surprise me. That's what I want to know. Yeah, I actually said that on Facebook one time, and a friend of mine who's black, he tried to call me racist for saying that. He's just saying, like, New York is a very cultural place. That's ignorant. That's some white people shit. And then I stopped reading after a while. And then a few comments later, another friend of mine who's black says, I really enjoy scenes from an Italian restaurant. So there's a method to my madness, guys. That's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, I actually came all the way up from Brooklyn to be here tonight. Yeah, I live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Yeah, it's very far. It's like a very blue collar part of Brooklyn. The best way I can describe it is hipsters came to gentrify the neighborhood, and then a retired cop says no. That's basically why we're still the same way. I do hang out at a lot of bars there. I hang out at a lot of dirtbag bars. Anyone ever been to a dirtbag bar? It's an experience. Here's how you know you're at a dirtbag bar. If you hear something ignorant next to you, you're next to a dirtbag, but if you hear it across the bar, you're at a dirtbag bar. That's the best way that I can describe it for you. I remember one time that I just hear a conversation from across the bar, and all I hear is, yo, Munster cheese, that's the cheese the Jews use on their pizza. And I'm like, I did not know that was a stereotype. I didn't even know that made the list. You could have put two rabbis next to each other, and they would have been like, have you heard that one yet? I remember one time a friend of mine tried to fight a DJ. That's a true story. But me and my friends were drinking long enough to take my friend's side, because what happened was the DJ takes the microphone and goes, yo ladies, make some noise if you don't give a fuck about these guys tonight. And that set my friend off, and he tried to charge the DJ booth while me and my friends tried to hold him back. That's what we were trying to do. And then it only got worse because the DJ sees this, takes the microphone, looks at my friend and goes, yo, come at me. I'm like, oh God. That's the kind of white trash that I deal with. Yeah, I do have a lot of weird interactions at bars now just from doing this. Like, I don't have normal conversations anymore. Remember, about 2 months ago, I'm drinking with this girl at a bar. Like, I randomly just walked into her, and like we just start doing shots, we're talking, and then she looks at me and goes, oh, I'm gonna be here with my boyfriend tomorrow night. You should hang out with us. And I had this look on my face that says, what makes you think he wants to hang out with me? Like, we both know what I was trying to do. Let's be honest about that. That's way too obvious at this point. Like, that's a weird interaction. Like, hey babe, this is the guy I was telling you about. You know, the guy I was drinking with while you weren't around? I'm gonna get clocked if I go. There's no way that situation ends with this guy going, you know what babe, this guy's all right. This guy's all right. Let's do some shots. Oh man. I am getting older now, so I don't try not to hang out at bars as much as I used to, because, you know, I'm turning 30 this year. Yeah. Thanks for the woos, I guess. Like, here's the thing, like, everyone's trying to get me worried, like, it's like, oh my God, you're turning the dirty 30 this year. Are you worried? You're getting older. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, I spent most of my 20s with the personality of an angry dad in his 40s. I think I'm ready for this. Like, I don't have kids, but I'm already disappointed in them. Like, it's like I'm getting these grades and now I gotta deal with the Jets. Like, that's kind of the personality that I give off. Yeah, but like, here's the one thing I noticed about getting older. Like, we only talk about how much time has passed, you know, based on how happy the memory is. Because Because, like, if a friend of mine will tell me, dude, can you believe it's been over 10 years since you graduated high school? And I'm like, yeah, that's how time works, stupid. Take the year it is and the year we graduated. That's first grade math. Yeah, but if a friend of mine walks up to me and says, dude, can you believe it's been over 6 years since we saw a guy at a bar tell a girl, hey, let me tell you what 6 inches feels like. I'm like, yo. Damn, it's really been that long? That's a true story, by the way. I told you, I hang out a lot at dirtbag bars. What do you expect from me? I don't know, like, I want to, like, branch out, like, out of my neighborhood to different bars. When you're a neighborhood guy, you just can't. That's just something that's built into you. And my friends are like, dude, why don't girls like hanging out with us here? And I'm like, probably because they think we're dirtbags. Like, we just saw a guy brag about 6 inches. Maybe we should hang out at places where beer costs more than $5. Maybe that's what we should do. That's what we gotta do, I guess. Yeah, so I was in Miami last month, and I went with, like, my Jersey family, and some of you already know where I'm going with this. Yeah, but here's what happened. I learned some of my family, they don't have airport etiquette, because there was a guy on the TSA line in Newark, which is a terrible airport. It's a terrible airport. And we're on the line in TSA, and a guy with a turban gets taken off of the line, and my uncle goes, I fucking knew it. Yeah. Dude, it's one thing for TSA to take a guy off of the line that looks suspicious. But it's another thing that your 60-year-old uncle from Middletown, New Jersey is just teetering on the inside the entire time. Just like hoping that they say something. And then he just says it, and you're like, oh, God, what the fuck are we going to do with you? God damn. Yeah, I always thought my uncle was homophobic because he once told me a 5-minute rant about why men shouldn't wear earrings. And he told me this at a wake once. I will never forget this. We're at a funeral home, and then a kid walks in, and this kid had earrings. And then my uncle goes, you see this shit? You see this? Like, there are grown men out there are willing to put diamonds in their fucking ears. Like, I look at guys like that and say, my wife wears earrings. Are you trying to look as pretty as my wife? And I'm like, there's a dead body in the next room. How about we, let's tone this down just a tad. It was weird, but here's what happened. We were in Miami, we were in Little Havana, and we walked by this burlesque show, and my uncle just goes, who am I to judge? I didn't know not being a homophobe would make you look 10 times crazier, because he's not homophobic. He's just a crazy old man with a rant about why men shouldn't wear earrings. Like, regardless of race, ethnicity, religious beliefs, sexual orientation. If you're a man with earrings, my uncle's just going to walk up to you and goes, hey, my wife wears earrings. Yeah, I flew out of Newark to get there, and like I said, Newark's a terrible airport. They had like 4 machines working. No, they had like 4 machines, but only one of them was working. It was that bad. And I remember this guy behind me, he was just dry heaving coughing, not covering his mouth. And then he was telling all the TSA agents, like, hey, my kids can do a better job than you. And then he shouts out to everyone online, I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I ran out of gum twice. He said, you didn't need to say that the first time. I was just looking at these TSA agents like, I don't know what the guy in the turban did, but this guy's a suspect. He just threatened to kick people's asses. Like, can we take him off the line just to get him away from me? Yeah, I actually went down to Florida for the Jets-Dolphins game at the end of the year, and I was drinking all day for that because it's football. My cousin likes to drink at 9 a.m. for it. So I was drinking for like probably 16 to 20 straight hours, and it hits like 10 p.m. and my cousin puts down his drink and goes, all right, we're going to a strip club. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're going. Yeah, and here's what I learned. If you have anxiety and you go to a strip club, there's a good chance that the guy who suggested going is going to tell everyone it's your birthday. Because that's what happened to me. Like, my body's going into free-for-all, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, that's kind of a bro move at the same time. Like, I can't really be that mad. All right, I'll leave you guys with one more thing. So I have been single a long time, like single long enough that my female friends are dragging me into their girl talk. And I don't know how to do it. Like, they'll just look at me like, can you believe she walked in with those shoes? And I'm like, did you want her to walk out barefoot? I don't know what to say. Like, I'm literally a glass of Pinot away from saying, girl, you're a warrior. You are strong, you are fierce, and one bad bitch. And that's it for me, guys. Thanks.